Heart First leadership isn't what you say, it's how you show up, how you regulate, how you communicate, and how you execute when it matters most. We are Heidi and Ryan Sawyer, and you are listening to the Heart First Leadership Podcast.
Welcome to the Integrated Mindset Podcast. I am Ryan Sawyer, your co-host, alongside with
Heidi Sawyer.
And there she is, once again, the one and the only. Today we are diving into commitment number 8. If you're following along with us, we're doing the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. And like we say every time, it's about living above the line. And this is not just for leaders. You are a leader. Yes, you are. Whether you know it or not, you are a leader of your own life. And these commitments are like principles, are practices that allow for us to live a more full life, to find a level. And this one talks about flow state. This level of like flow and genius is something that maybe we don't all understand or have been exposed to. Something I know for a fact is still fairly fresh and new. When I recognize like, oh yeah, I'm definitely in my zone of genius right now and I'm flowing and things are coming out of me and through me. So let's introduce, let's introduce this. But before we do, how are you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm doing good. I'm excited for spring. We just had this another big round of snow here in Spokane, Washington, where we are. And I don't know, it was like second or third winter or whatever they call it around here, but I am hopeful that we're going to have some nice, sunny, consistent weather where we can get out and enjoy nature. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
We're getting close. There's always that one last little bit, like you think it's over, and then it's like, it pulls you back in.
Yeah. Something we were talking about that this weekend. It's a different feel looking out the window and seeing snow and building a snowman and all those things right before Christmas. Versus, I started singing, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Like, oh, wait a minute. We don't want to look like Christmas. We want to look like spring. Right. So we're going to start to, Awesome. Yeah. So this commitment is, it's commitment number 8. It's called Excelling in Your Zone of Genius. And the commitment is, I commit to expressing my full magnificence and to supporting and inspiring others to fully express their creativity and live in their zone of genius. I want to read the below the line statement too, because I think a lot of us do this and it's not something that we're conscious of, but man, there are so many ways we can hold ourselves back from expressing our magnificence, and everybody has a gift to share. So this is the below the line statement. I commit to holding myself back and not realizing my full potential by living in areas of incompetence, competence, and even excellence. So we're going to talk a little bit more about those different what those different areas are. This chapter is inspired by the work of Dr. Gay Hendricks. If you've ever read the book, The Big Leap, the book is all about this topic. So I love that the authors of the 15 commitments you hear about this in lots of different books, but they took this concept and they made this a commitment in the book. So I love that.
Yeah, this one, about 3 years ago, I reached out for some deeper coaching from a individual by the name of Greg Amundsen, and the very first place that we talked about was like projecting forward where we wanted to be a year from now, right? Mm-hmm. And what I was traversing, I guess it was 3 years ago, it might have been more.
I think it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, maybe a little over 3 years ago. And the place that we were at the time was I was solely running our residential painting company. Mm-hmm. And I was wanting to be doing what I'm doing now, right? And I did not see the way out. Mm-hmm. I did not see the way out. And so we began to have this conversation about this very thing. And I had no idea I knew about the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, but I had no idea about the other aspects. I mean, I didn't fully understand, I guess you should say, the full aspects of the zone of genius and flow states and all these different things that were possible when you're really in it, right? And it was very challenging because he, really kind of pushed the envelope of me beginning to delegate all the things that I thought only I can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be the sales role or this or that or whatever. And every single time that I get myself further out of the way, I recognize that not only does somebody else just as good at the thing, or they can do the thing, maybe even potentially better than I am. They want to be doing it. And legitimately, I think what we're talking about here fundamentally is learning how to let go. Learn how to let go of not just our beliefs of, hey, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, or whatever that may be, right?
Yeah.
And every time I say that, I always bring some weird accent in that doesn't make sense. But
that's so true.
It's a belief that we have to do it all ourselves. So we have to do things alone. That what we are doing is actually keeping ourselves in a familiar, known, past experience, and we are not allowing for ourselves to be in an experience or in a scenario, in a circumstance where we're able to really truly explore our uniqueness, our gifts, and what really it feels like to be expressing those.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that I've learned about gifts and expressing your magnificence. It is never, it's never comfortable. It's never the easy road. I mean, it can come and it can flow easily, but typically what you're going to be stepping into is the path to your growth. And so I think that's why we get stuck in these places of, let's just talk about what the different ones are, because you have your area of incompetence, right? That's what you can do. And it's something that you get like negative feedback on. You're not very good at it. It takes you a long time to get the thing done. There's lots of other people who could do it better. Then you have your area of competence, which
let's give examples on each.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, area of incompetence is like creating marketing tools, like graphics,
stuff.
Right? Like flyer. Like I'm great with content, right? I'm putting together a program, but like the idea of making a flyer that's presentable to the world, like I don't stand a chance. And I would take hours of something that legitimate. This is no joke. It would take me hours, and it would take Heidi 5 minutes. That's true.
That's a good example.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that's your genius. You're just excellent at it.
So
we'll come back around.
We'll come back to that. So competence is like something that you do that others can do just as well or better. And it doesn't feel totally satisfying. So it's like, I can do this thing. I'm pretty good at it. There's probably other people who are better at it, but I'm proficient. I'm competent.
That's me selling. So again, I'm just going to give you examples. As I read through this, I was like, that's me in a sales role. Like I'm a good salesman. I'm competent at it. I can go out and I can sell. Right. I would between competent and even excellent at it. Right. But where there was a bit of a belief that like, now we currently have obviously a salesperson in a role.
Yeah. Who's doing awesome.
Who's crushing it. And selling things at even a higher percentage than I would have. Right. So he's actually potentially better at it than I am.
Yep.
Right. But yet, I was doing it all those years thinking that I was the one who had to do it, sucking all kinds of time, all kinds of energy away from me potentially exploring and finding the zone of genius.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then the other one is excellence. And this is where I think this is the trap. Yeah. This is where you get into a career that you enjoy it in the beginning. You're moving up the ladder. I mean, I have been in this place so many times with different organizations that I've been a part of. My last career, I was with that company for 12 years. I could do things with excellence, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the thing that's going to fill you up, or that's the thing that's going to express your unique gifts in the way that you're here to express it. And I think when I think about the way that I'm here to express my unique gifts, it is not the easy road. It's not just the thing that everyone's kind of recognizing you for and giving you the praise for. It's actually the thing that you have to do the hard work to get through and moving through your own limiting beliefs to get there.
Yeah, okay. So the concept that we're talking about is overcoming resistance. What's that book? Stephen Pressfield? Something about gifts. It'll come to me in a minute. So the point is this: when you're in your zone of genius, so we'll come back to the excellence in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you overcoming yourself. You have to sacrifice something to be in it, and you can only go so far. Like there's this spot where you hit. If you think of it in terms of the hero's journey, if you're familiar with Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, there's this part where you realize I can't go any further carrying the load that I'm currently carrying.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be in my zone of genius unless I set down either and delegate certain aspects of my life, my business, whether that be something as simple as cleaning the house, mm-hmm. or, grocery shopping, cooking dinner, whatever it is, or being in a sales role, right? I can't go any further. I can't explore this any further unless I set some things down, as well as usually what we're setting down is beliefs mm-hmm. about ourselves, the world. I'm not good enough, some sort of narrative, some sort mm-hmm. of underlying narrative that may not sound just like this, that this is too hard. I can't do this. Somebody else is already doing it. What's the point? Who do you think you are? I mean, all these different, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not adequate. I'm not lovable. Something like that. You have to overcome that to be in the zone of genius. You have to.
Thank you. You did such a better job explaining that than I was. Right. You said exactly what I was trying to articulate.
Which, if you are willing to do this work, what you're going to have to go through is a form of resistance called the dark night of the soul, or the dark night of the ego. I like the dark night of the ego better because mm-hmm. you're legitimately like deconstructing aspects of your self-concept that are not going to be able to exist if you're going to live in your zone of genius. And so to come back to that for a moment, for me, I believe, and again, hopefully we take this with a grain of salt, I'm excellent at speaking. At this, I'm auditory, like I'm very good mm-hmm. at like connecting dots mm-hmm. and talking about them, right? So podcasting is natural. Speaking in front of people, teaching and coaching is kind of a natural thing for me. Been doing it my whole entire life. So I'm excellent at it, but I don't think it's my zone of genius. And just even this morning, mm-hmm. I was working in my zone of genius. Mm-hmm. And it's clear as day when I am programming, mm-hmm. when I am taking a really complex concept or idea, mm-hmm. and I'm taking dots and connecting them in a way mm-hmm. where it's putting them into a progression that somebody else will be able to make sense of it and be able to extract a lesson from that or a gift from that, right? Like that is when I cannot type fast enough. Mm-hmm. I cannot, like I got multiple screens open and I mean, everything is just flowing completely and time, either in the sense of standing still or like 2 hours went by. I was like, what the heck just happened?
We're earlier in your typing.
She locked the door. Or we lost something there. Are you still there?
No, it's all good.
You're back. Our service is really low. Anyway, so she walks in. I'm like, oh, you startled me because I was so merged with what I was writing, with what I was creating.
That's so cool. That is one of the signs you're in your zone of genius, when you can have, like I remember Elizabeth Gilbert, she's an awesome writer. She talked about that when she's writing. Time can just go by. She wrote the book. What is the name of her? She wrote an awesome book about creativity, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but she talks about that in her book. She talks about the passage of time and time speeding up and realizing she'd been sitting down writing for 5 or 6 hours. Yeah. It's a crazy amount of time. Mm-hmm. It can go by really quickly. So I can't remember what that book is called, but
So where are we at with this? So let's see. Set the things down that don't bring you joy, that don't mm-hmm. bring you a sense of flow, that don't either that or challenge you, right? Like legitimately to see if you can't delegate. How well can you get just micro levels of starting to delegate things off that somebody else can do, whether mm-hmm. that's in business or in life or otherwise, mm-hmm. So that is going to create space. Like you pull this back to what we call the cycle of transformation for us to be able to be an experience of actually creating a new version of ourselves, we have to create what we call the void. There has to be space to explore. We have to be able to span the horizons and be in this place of wonder, in this curious place. This point, I didn't think I was going to go here, but this points back to one of my concerns I have with our current culture and society when it comes to our youth is we tend to think what our kids need is to be busy. And go from sport to sport to sport to sport, school to sports, and this and that, and have a job, and so busy that they never have a time or the time to explore, and to be bored. Yeah. And because in that void, in that space, in that nothingness, Winnie the Pooh, I think I've mentioned this a couple times. Winnie the Pooh says the very best of something comes from doing nothing. But if you got yourself so freaking busy juggling everything and all your obligations and all of your agreements and all these beliefs and all these things in the air, you're not going to find it.
We are all leaders. If you're ready to stop waiting and start impacting your environment in a powerful way, we want to connect with you. Click the Book Now link in the show notes to book a call with a Heart First coach and discover what Heart First leadership can look like in your life and in your environment. Now back to the show. No, that's true. That actually came up the other night because our son has been exploring drawing, and he's really good at it. He's really talented just to be able to look at, right now he's reading these books. What's the name of the books? The Dragon books.
We're not good at remembering.
I don't know what's going on today. Okay. Memory.
Wings of Fire.
Wings of Fire series. So if you have young ones, that's a popular series, but each book cover has a cool dragon on the front. So he's been actually just grabbing a blank piece of paper and then drawing, freehand drawing those dragons. And we were talking about that because we were really impressed that he just had the space and time to be able to discover that was something that he was excited about and wanted to explore.
Yeah.
And that space, having that space and time to discover the things that you enjoy doing and can be talented at, and even a zone of genius, is really important for ourselves and for our kids to create that spaciousness.
So as you do these things, what's going to pop up? Yeah. By the way, I was thinking of the same example with Colton. It's something we encourage in some form of creativity in our home when there's space, right? When there's that time at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday and nothing's going on and we're not going to be doing anything because we're relaxing and recharging, and the kids are bored. I'm like, color, draw. I don't care what you do. Read a book. Right? But I'm not here to entertain you. So it's not the job description. I fill you up as much as I can, then you have to entertain yourself. So a couple of things I think that are important to illustrate is these pieces. I highlighted these. When you begin to take this, really it's a leap of faith. Again, I've recently been studying the hero's journey. So I'm like, whoa, that connected a dot. It's this leap of faith. It takes a leap of faith to, first you have to let go, right? You have to let go of the things that are holding you down that naturally bring you up into a new experience and make it possible to create the space to find your zone of genius. But beyond that, you're then going to have to authentically step out and act in a way that's going to be in alignment with you being able to find this zone of genius and develop it and cultivate it and work through it, right? You have to overcome these fundamental components. One that we tend to think as human beings, this is a common thread that we notice and that I've noticed in my own life, is that somehow we're fundamentally flawed. Like there's something wrong with us. There's something wrong with me. What is wrong with me? Like why? Right. And so that's just a natural component of something that needs to be integrated, loved, seen, shown compassion. That there's this fear of when it comes to, because if you're in your zone of genius, you're going to be busting past your limits, your current capacity. Right? Yeah. I like how they talk about it in the book. And this is an example that Gay Hendricks gave in The Big Leap. Also, it's like like you have a thermostat for how good you are willing to, how good are you willing to allow your life to be? Wow. How much abundance and joy and happiness are you willing, and love, are you willing to tolerate? Are you willing to accept and allow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thermostat, right? And like, let's say you have the thermostat set at 65, and then it starts to kind of move over that. What is your comfort zone? Bam. Regulates back down.
Yeah.
So it's being able to move through
that
set point.
It's getting too hot in here.
And those set points have a lot to do with like our, programming in childhood, societal programming, whatever, beliefs that we've taken on throughout our life. Especially when it comes to money and success.
Money's a big one.
And relationships. How much love are you willing to receive?
Yeah.
In your life,
are you worthy
and feel worthy of?
Are you worthy of God's riches?
Yeah,
that would be how one might even put it.
Right. And then what are the
worthy to receive love
about the trade-offs that you might have to take on if you're going to have that level of success that comes with stepping into your genius or stepping into a new experience in life? Then there's these limiting beliefs or upper limits that we create around, okay, that's going to take this big time sacrifice. And now my relationships are going to suffer. And now people are going to think that I'm a different person because I'm, wealthy or whatever it is.
This fear of disloyalty and abandonment was the other one. So number one was to feel fundamentally flawed. There's something wrong with me. Mm-hmm. So what's the point? I shouldn't even try. The second one is, well, I don't want to leave the people who I've my current circle, right? If I were to embrace my uniqueness and my zone of genius, then those people might feel like I'm not being loyal and staying in their
you see
current
that
paradigm.
You see that a lot with people. If you come from a family where everybody's, kind of in the same paradigm as far as like their level of income, level of success in life, fitness level, something like that. And then you start busting out of those generational cycles and you start going like, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to make other choices, or I'm going to be abundant and I want to, invest my money and do different things. Oh my gosh, you could be rejected. You could be rejected from your tribe because you're breaking the mold of what's acceptable.
I was working with one of our coaches in training recently on putting together kind of what we consider to be a worthy challenge. A worthy challenge is really more associated with a certain goal that we have set that's going to create a vehicle for us to heal and to grow internally, right? So we are put in a situation where we're going to have to overcome this sense of not enoughness. The belief that had popped up in this scenario was more success equals bigger burden.
More stress.
Right? More stress. I'm going to get overworked. I'm going to be this, that, and the other, right?
I think a big fear is like the relationships are going to suffer because...
Or even this relationship, your health.
Yeah.
Your health. You're going to get so stressed in your health. You're not going to take care of yourself. Like, again, it's just a story or a belief that if you take an integrated approach, that you'll be able to lean into your zone of genius while never better taking care of yourself. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the concept, the fourth one. So I'll go back. Feeling fundamentally flawed. Number one. Number two, disloyal or abandonment. Number three, more success equals bigger burden. Number four is outshining.
Oh. Yeah.
So this Marianne Williamson, which we've talked about multiple times, that we don't fear our inadequacy, that we fear basically our unique
our greatness,
gifts,
our magnificence, as they say at the beginning of this chapter.
Magnificence, right? Yeah. And so this is, I love that they come back and actually talk about the nervous system, because that's always what I point it back to when we're talking about transformations. We're talking about this basic concept that, like, legitimately everything that we have ever experienced, everything we've ever thought, everything we've ever seen, it's all being imprinted.
And that's your thermostat.
And that's your thermostat, right? So you have, and there's ways to heal our nervous system, and there's ways to imprint and program and reprogram our nervous system. Some is maybe through like affirmation work and mantra. That's very surface level, but it does impact and work, different meditation practices, visualization practices. And then obviously there's much deeper concepts of like shadow integration to transmute a negative constructive experience into more of an open and expansive experience. And then there's this
subconscious
concept,
reprogramming.
right?
And
there's concepts of just basically transcending, to be just completely above it, right? And to be in the truth of where we come from and where we're going back to, right? So, all of these things imprint our nervous system in a way that creates a new experience of life every single time. And it's an incremental thing. It's an incremental thing that you lead your way to living in this zone of genius. This chapter has really resonated with me because it makes me curious, like, how much time can I spend there? What would that be like to some way, shape, or form be in it? Not just a day here and a day there, but on the daily, right? As much as maybe just as much as you want to or can handle that much energy.
How do you think somebody can go about discovering what their zone of genius is if they, they're kind of like, I don't know, I have a job, I'm pretty good at it. I get, bonuses and recognition and people pat me on the back and say, good job. But I don't get super excited about it on Monday morning it's not something where it's like, man, I can't wait to dive into this, project or whatever. It's just sort of like you are kind of checking a box. And maybe they're wondering, how can I start to discover what could be my zone of genius and what it even feels like to be in that flow? We talked a little bit about, the passage of time going by really quickly when you're doing something. What do you think some other signs are, some other ways that it feels when you're in your zone of genius, when you're in that flow state? And how can people, I'm asking you like 5 questions at the same time, but how can people
try and track
start to discover that for themselves? If they're listening to this podcast and they're like, okay, that sounds great, Ryan, but how do I know what my zone of genius is? How do I even start to go down the path of discovering that?
Well, we have this program. We have this program called Integrated Mindset, and it's to live an integrated life. I don't know any other way.
Yeah. One of the suggestions that I would have that I've seen helpful for other people is to create a list of things that you want to try. So Monica Packard, she has a podcast about progress. She talks about a do something list.
I like that.
So that would be one of my suggestions, is to create a do something list. And it doesn't have to be any huge lofty goal like, hey, I'm going to write a book tomorrow, but it could be like, I'm going to try making 2 new recipes a month. So you just kind of put you make it measurable, you make it time bound. It's a list of ideas of things that kind of spark something in you, right? So I'm going to explore organizing, one area of my home. Maybe that's something where you get into a zone of genius and you realize, wow, I'm pretty good at this. And it's also really fulfilling and I'm able to do it faster and, and better than most other people that I know. So I think that's a way that you can discover some things that you can be excited about that can also help you to uncover some areas of genius for yourself.
I think most people see us in a greater light than we see ourselves. And so to ask others, they even talk about this in the book.
Oh, yeah.
To create an email and to ask specific questions. One of the questions is, what am I doing or talking about when you experience the most energized and happy? Different, what are the 3 favorite qualities you see in me? Or what, different things like that. What kind of gifts do you see in me?
We'll put this list in the community if you're in our private community.
Here's a conversation I've been in a lot. Is a lot of people, it's one of our basic human needs to have meaning in our life, to be able to contribute, to be significant, right? And so what does that mean? That means that we have some sense of purpose. We know why we're here, right? And then we're living into that purpose. I don't think there's any easy way to that. I don't think it's a conversation. I don't think it's a weekend retreat. I don't think it's one book that's going to lead you there. And there are examples of people having like these. I think it's just one-time journaling. I think it's this, first of all, this acceptance that your brain is wired for survival, and it's going to be seeking comfort and patterns in a way that's trying to conserve energy. So the first and foremost thing is that you have to have a mindset that you're not, we all think we have a mindset of growth, but I'm talking about actually intentionally setting goals and challenges that are going to hit your stuff. Right. So you have to sacrifice the stuff in you. You have to get it out of the way. The real and the best way that I know, and it's not the easiest path, but it's the path that I think is what we're all on anyway, is this concept or idea of letting go. And when we begin to remove the blockages that are within us, what naturally flows through us is our zone of genius. What naturally comes out of us and what we become drawn towards and what we become aware of and what we begin to perceive and see and what we naturally then attract into our life is opportunities to live in our zone of genius.
Yeah.
So setting a goal or having a worthy challenge that is going to hit your stuff.
And it could be one of those simple things like in the do something list. It could be like, I'm going to do these 2 recipes, but maybe you have this belief that you're a terrible cook and, you're never going to be good at that, or you're such a disorganized person and you've never been able to, structure things or whatever. I mean, you know for yourself what that is. And I think from person to person, it can look different. So what seems easy or simple to someone else can really be challenging for another person, really challenge their beliefs about themselves and
who they think
they are.
It doesn't have to be big things.
Yeah.
Let me give you another super small example, because a lot of times we think of things like reading a book or writing a book or public speaking. Okay. So for me, I'm good with my hands, and I've been a painter for on and off for the majority of my life. So I can go and I can cut a straight line. I can use paint like crazy. Right. But I'm not a builder. I'm not all that handy. I really I'm not very good at fixing things. I'd way rather just be like, oh, no, just call somebody. And so my daughter's turning 9 years old this month, March, and she has been asking me for over a year for a swing set, but she doesn't want just any old swing set because she's 9. So she's not like a 4-year-old on a little Costco swing. She wants a swing set, right?
A big swing.
Swing, right? And so this was recently one of my worthy challenges. One of my worthy challenges that I knew by having to come up with the plans and find all the right equipment and order all the right equipment. And the easiest part of it was staining it. That part I could do very, very well. And I enjoyed that part thoroughly because it was very comfortable to me. I knew that I was doing a good job staining the wood.
Yeah, right.
But it came time to actually
okay, we got 3 coats on this. It's time to move on.
Maybe we should put a 4th coat on it. Maybe a 5th, right? Now I'm just completely avoiding the challenge. So it came time to actually construct this 11-foot
it's big
swing set, right? Now, by doing so, I knew that this was going to hit my stuff. And it did, right? I strip a screw. We have the wrong drill bit. I don't have the right tools. See what I mean? I'm not that handy. I can't even organize my tools well enough. I go in my little area where I keep our tools, and they're just thrown in the corner. And it's just not my ball game, right? To the point where at one point I got frustrated and kind of acted out. And
what's important about a worthy challenge like that is you didn't necessarily ask for support, but you said, I want to do this, and this is going to challenge me. It's going to challenge some beliefs that I have about myself. So as your partner, knowing that, I was like, we're doing this. Let's problem solve. Let's figure it out. So we just kind of pushed it along, through those hiccups of not having the right things.
And this is it. It might sound so simple. So there's somebody might be listening, or there's somebody out there who's like,
that's easy.
You were challenged by building a swing set. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And I have no shame in saying so. And I can look out and see it right now. And one of the cross beams was a little crooked. And anyway,
it's all good.
We got it up. And it's works.
Functional.
It works, and it's safe. And my daughter is ecstatic, and she loves it. And I recognize this movement inside of me, right? Where it didn't necessarily become, it's not going to be my zone of genius. But the point is, you asked me a question of how do we find it? We find it by doing things that make us uncomfortable, by knowing things that hit our stuff, not make us uncomfortable. We always think about the physical challenge. We think about, oh, I'm going to go run a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that could be something too.
That could be it. But the point of the matter is that we're going to do something that's going to hit our beliefs inside here, right? It's going to make me feel a little bit elevated, right? Or triggered, or increased heart rate, or sweaty palms. And then I'm going to have to learn to work with that, let that go, rewrite that narrative, create a different belief, and overcome it. I'm going to have to be in that place where I'm going to have to sacrifice. I'm not going to be able to finish this swing set unless I let go, unless I set down the baggage of that I'm not handy, right? Because now we've opened up a can of worms. So now I'm like, well, can I build a fort out there? And with a swing set, or with a slide and monkey bars?
You don't have to be excellent at something as long as you're enjoying the process of learning to do it. Yeah. So if you are incompetent at it or just competent and you don't enjoy it, then drop it. Right. But if you can enjoy the process, if you can find the gift in the process, then do it, because it's going to lead you to that growth that will ultimately pave the path to stepping into your genius more.
That's right. Yeah. So again, it's a small example of a way that is helping me to heal and to be more whole. And that will then, that wholeness will then be explored in new and different ways. That even when now I'm in that zone of genius and I'm programming a program, or I'm writing outlines for a workshop, and that's where it's just like, well, yeah, I can see the whole thing, right?
And all you're doing when you try new things like that, all you're doing is building credibility. You're building confidence because you're sticking with something, and I think one of the biggest things that we have to do when we go into these types of challenges, where we go, okay, this is going to hit some stuff, and I'm doing this because I really want to see, my progress. I want to have the lessons and the gifts that are going to come from doing this new thing. Is we have to be willing to let go of the idea that it's going to be perfect, or that we're going to somehow master it the first time. Yeah. And that goes for anything. So I think that's like one of the big gateways to being able to try new things and find your zone of genius, is you just have to be, I've seen this quote, you have to be brave enough to be bad at something new. Yeah. You have to be brave enough to get started, and then you'll find your flow. You'll find the things that work for you and don't work for you. And you'll be able to realize what it feels like to step into that zone of genius, and then spend more time there. And as you spend more time there, you can do the other part of the commitment, which is to support other people in being in their zone of genius as well. Yeah.
So it's a conversation where it's going to take, what do you call it? Leveling up. Is that what it's called?
Well, you're going to hit these upper limits,
you're
right?
You're going to have to overcome these upper limits, these beliefs, these concepts, these paradigms of how much money one should have, how much joy one should experience, how much whatever, right? Love am I worthy of?
Can you really have that much fun doing your work every day?
Right. Can it be, can life be the whole thing, be, enjoyed? Yeah. Right. And everything that says, no, life's meant to be hard, and it's hell getting old, and all these things, right? All those concepts and paradigms and beliefs and stories that we're told throughout our life, like, they have to be challenged. And we are right now in the absolute jungle and hacking a machete of challenging that. Like, do we do 40 hours a week? Man, I'm good.
Yeah.
We work a lot, but does it have to all be considered work? Can we be doing something that we enjoy so much that we just take the word work completely and throw it away, right? And then now we end up finding this incredible flow in our lives, and we enjoy ourselves more and all these different things. And this is where we currently are, like, navigating into. And so it's gonna take challenging some things. Otherwise, if you're really good at what you do and you're content and happy, then good on you.
Yeah, but I'd also encourage you, even if you are in that place where you know that your work is, your genius doesn't have to be what you're doing for a living, right? So if you're in a place of excellence in your work and you're like, hey, this is providing for my family in a way that I don't see anything else doing that, and I'm happy with this and I have fulfillment from this, then that's okay. But I'd still encourage you to go out and find those other things, those other interests and hobbies that are going to, make time fly by and give you that experience of offering a unique gift to the world that only you can, because I do truly believe that we all have a unique gift inside of us. And that could even be something as simple as your ability to have presence and genuinely listen to another person. That could be your zone of genius. You could say, man, when I go to coffee with a friend and I sit with them and I hold space for them and I genuinely listen to them and am present and I'm not thinking about the next thing I'm going to say or whatever, that feels really good and time goes by really fast. And that's an amazing gift that I can offer to the world. That could be a zone of genius for you.
I don't know about you, but I personally am enjoying this process right now we're the last, I don't know how many episodes we've done together, 20 or 30 episodes together. Yeah. And watching this one over here grow because she's just like blossoming, a lotus blossoming and growing so much. And it's just so obvious to me sitting where I'm at watching it. So I just wanted to acknowledge that for a moment.
Well, you have the behind the scenes seat of all the other things that are happening.
It's just fun, which will be exposed later or not. But it's just fun to watch this emerging happening, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just happen to be going through a certain 10-week course.
Yeah. So I'm going to be opening up a group for women of the Integrated Mindset program. That's our 10-week program. But it was important to me, even though I've been involved, with the creation of the program, sitting with our neuroscience specialists and all the things that we've done, as Ryan has been in his zone of genius, taking very complex concepts, drilling them down to content that is digestible and also able to be applied and integrated into your life in a way that's actually going to make a difference. Because we say this a lot, information without integration equals frustration, right? We can take in all kinds of podcasts, books, and so forth, but if we don't do anything with it, it's not really changing our life. So one of the things that was important to me before I started my own women's group for Integrated Mindset was that I wanted to authentically go through the program with Ryan as my coach, taking me through the program. And right now I'm about halfway through with an awesome group of women. There's transformation happening all around. And I have seen that within my own life, how these tools in the sequencing that you've put them in, the specific ways that you've given to integrate the content into our life has been really transformational. And I've done a lot of coaching and a lot of programs before and written some of my own programs. But this program is amazing, and I'm really excited just for the transformation that's creating within me, but also to share that with other women and be that facilitator, because I think that is one of my zones of genius, is facilitating and in doing that coaching with people and holding the space and listening. And so I'm excited to step more into that myself. And if you're interested in the group, reach out to me, because I do have some spots and we're going to be starting here shortly. Yeah. I think after spring break is when we're planning on starting. So yeah.
And I would agree with you that your zone of genius is facilitating. Mm-hmm. And again, it's a thing I'm good at, but maybe not my zone of genius. So
that's good. Write the programs. I'll facilitate.
I'll keep writing the workshops and programs. And
you're a great facilitator. And actually I've been it's been really fun to see Ryan coaching a whole group of all women. That's been really cool for me, just to see him kind of navigating that and having fun with it.
The real quick funny story is that I at one point was very a matter of fact that I was not going to coach women, and then now here I am. The majority of the work that I do is involving women, and here's what I'll say is that I'm inspired by women willing to do this work, mm-hmm. and I would call on more men to be willing to do this deeper inner work to transform themselves, because that's what's going to create a different environment in which they live and work in. And that's going to be the real impact on your relationships, on your marriage, on your children, in your community, with your teams. And it's not going to be the next drill or thing out there, right?
Talk about breaking generational cycles.
It's going to come from the man and the male influence is so incredibly influential when it comes to the environment that we create. So inspired by the women, so grateful for the women who do this work, grateful for you doing the work. But I'm also using this moment to say, where are you? I see you.
Calling the men.
Yeah.
Calling all men.
Come on. It's a little scary.
We've had couples go through this program too. And a really powerful thing to do would be to have one person, have the man go over and join Ryan's men's group, and then the woman join my group or Barb's group. We have Barb Oviatt is a certified IHP coach as well. So there's lots of options there for who you think is the right fit as far as a coach. But we've had people say it's completely transformed their marriage, their relationship. They can't imagine. I think one testimonial I just saw recently, I can't imagine not having these tools in my life, in my business, in my marriage. So it's huge.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What a great opportunity.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next week for commitment number 9.
Yeah, we'll put a couple of these tools in the free community. So if you're not a part of that, we'll put the link in here in the show notes. And you can join us inside there for the rest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you next time. Thank you for listening. Remember, leaders go first. Alignment matters. And the environment that you create is the legacy you'll leave. We'll see you on the next episode.